Hello everyone. This noisy valve train is why I'm tearing the top end down. I have more plans than just replacing the lifters, so I'm pulling the heads and camshaft while I'm at it. If you missed part 1 of this series, check it out for more details.
Is this going to come right off? Sure is. When I pulled that hose off the bottom radiator hose, a lot of that green antifreeze came out brown.
Okay, let's get to work.
Going to take the heater hoses off next. Well, it'll be easier to get at that when I remove the alternator bracket, so maybe I'll do that next.
Note to self. Leaning a tripod on the Fender doesn't provide a stable platform for a camera. I was trying to get you a better view.
Oh boy. Not cool. The bottom alternator bolt that goes through the sliding bracket is really stuck. Oh boy, that is really stuck. Now let me soak it a bit. Hopefully this will help. The top bolt is coming out pretty easy. So maybe by pulling this out I can loosen the belt enough to remove it. And then I'll be able to get the fan off and the front pulley and then the top bracket here. And then that bottom bracket connects down here, which will be exposed when this stuff's out of the way. It's not tight anyway, is it? That water pump feels good though. So I might have to go at this from a roundabout way to get that bottom bolt on the alternator free. Oh yeah, that moves.
So does the camera.
That's good. Jeez. That one doesn't want to move. Try a breaker bar on this one. I got it. Got to make sure nothing drops because that antifreeze pan is still down there full of antifreeze. There's 3 connections on the back of this alternator. This one here, they're all ring terminals, I'm sure. Black and red, and black and red. And be sure to put the nut back on there so I don't lose it. Alright, what do we have here? This one that had the rubber cap over it is perfectly clean and shiny. It's very well protected by that cap. And look at that nut. Clean as can be. I don't think I would really need to take the alternator out completely like this, except that I can't get this bracket off the bottom. I can't loosen that bolt, so I'm going to take the whole thing out and work on it. Just a strap to hold it, to hold the harness. Pete's sake. A little bit of knocker loose on that. Maybe that'll help. That whole bolt is turning. Dang it. So there's a 5/16 nut on it here that would be, that's under the strap. So this should hold it and actually tighten that nut. Okay, that got it. I'll have to remember to clean the threads off on that before I go to reinstall this. On all of these, really. This is the bolt that won't come out. Gonna have to work on that. So I put all those alternator bracket parts in here, and the fan, and the fan pulley, and the brackets. So everything's in one place. Start working on this bolt. Let this stuff just soak in there. CRC knocker loose. Hopefully that'll penetrate enough so I can break that bolt loose without damaging the threads. I don't want to damage the threads in this aluminum part. If I do, it's not the end of the world. I can drill it out and put a nut and bolt through it, but I'd rather just get that out the right way. Let's see if I can get this one out. Got a sharp edge on the bottom there. I kept grabbing. There's some antifreeze leaking out of it. Let that finish dripping out into the pan before I do anything with it. So I just pulled the bottom radiator hose off the water pump. Look at that. FOMO Ford part numbers C4ZE 8286-A. It seems impossible that this was the original hose to the car, but it's definitely OEM. Pretty cool. I like these 1-volt brackets. They have the coils on. I won't be reusing these clamps. They're kind of a pain in the backside. I think that's all of them. Except for that one right there in plain sight. Just kind of hung up on that stuck bolt that broke off. Fortunately, that big pan is still down there catching all of this. Really doesn't look bad in there. rip it off of there. It always broke right apart very easily. It's really old. Here's the fuel pump, dripping into the antifreeze pan. There's 3 bolts holding this pulley onto the balancer here. Oh, and they're not that tight. Well, it's good that they come off easy. It's not good that they were so loose. Well, let's see how easy this is, or not. Easy. I'm taking the #1 spark plug out so I can find out if the engine's on top dead center on the #1 cylinder on the compression stroke. So this is the tube from my compression tester that threads into the spark plug holes. If I can get it to work. Okay, well, it's in there. So when I rotate the engine, it'll make more noise coming out of a smaller opening. It'll be more of a, a release of pressure. Hopefully that's what it's going to be. So if I'm turning it in the right direction, the distributor will be turning counterclockwise because the vacuum advance pulls it clockwise. Now let me just see. Okay, that's the right direction. Nope. I think it was there to begin with. Yep, that's compression right there. It has this mark on it. I assume that's somewhere around 14 degrees, 12 degrees. Before top center. So top center has to be right here. Right around there. Just going to use this wrench to try to keep it from rotating. Well, that worked good. Well, I'm hoping the level of the antifreeze in the block is below these ports. So when I pull the front cover, a lot of antifreeze doesn't just go pouring down into the front of the oil pan. If it does, it does. I'll just change the oil. But if I don't have to, that would be good. This oil has got a couple 100 miles on it, and that's it. So I'm going to try this puller on the harmonic balancer. I think it's really just a steering wheel puller. It's a Matco TP15. I'll have to look it up. It's probably just made for pulling steering wheels, but I'm going to give it a shot if it'll fit. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to need to get another puller. Oh darn, I have to get more tools. I put that bolt back in there, so I'm pressing against the top of the bolt head. Okay, let's give this a shot. It's going right out, nice and smooth. Needless to say, it wasn't stuck. If it was stuck, this might not have worked.
The new balancer arrived yesterday. It looks pretty good, but I'm not impressed with some surface rust on the inner hub surfaces.
So as a reference for when I go to reinstall this distributor, it's pointing straight at that bolt head right there on the intake manifold. So that'll get it in the proper orientation. Of course, I'll have to adjust timing, but that's how I'll know it's in the right place. That loosened very easily, that's good. It's a good sign, it's not stuck. Hopefully the distributor isn't stuck. And it's not. Pulled right out, no problem. That drive gear looks good on it. So I'm going to remove the intake manifold bolts in sequence. And I'm not looking up the sequence in the manual. I'm just going to start from the back there. There, 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 there. There, 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 there. And if you didn't notice, I'm doing an inwardly spiraling pattern. It's the shape of a spiral if you look at it from the top. When in doubt, or if you don't have the data, you can always just do a spiral. It'll work good. Popped right out. Yep, Felpro gaskets. Very good.
This one got a lot longer than I wanted, so it's ending here. Next time I hope to pull the valve covers, push rods, exhaust manifolds, which have been slow going, and the heads. And let's not forget the timing chain cover. So stay tuned for all that. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe.